There he goes. Okay.
All right. Welcome, everybody. I'm glad you made it today. What we're going to be talking about is a very serious situation that's taking place today in the world. Basically, have you ever been through a situation in your life where you have too much on your shoulder? You can't take it anymore. You don't have anybody to talk to. It's like too heavy and you don't know what to do, and you just like fall on the floor and ask God for help.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, I think we all have been there sometime in our life. Well, Psalm 118 verse 13, as we can see, I was pushed so hard so that I was falling. But the Lord helped me get up. I brushed myself off, I got up, and I'm more stronger. And that's what we need to teach others to do, okay? We need to pass it on. We can't keep it to ourselves. We need to move on in the world. And my goal here is to help others do the same, okay? So we're gonna be talking about bullying. We're gonna be talking about depression. We're gonna be talking about suicide, okay? And we're gonna be going full speed ahead, but I want this to be an active learning where the audience participates, where the audience teaches themselves. It's not like a regular lecture where I lecture and you listen and take notes. No, we don't want that. We want it to be active participation, okay? According to Bloom, he wants active participation with the audience, and that's what I want as well. So what I want you to do is open your folder and take the first handout and complete it. I want to find out what you know about bullying. Take about 2 minutes. When you finish, please put your head up and finish?
Yes.
That was quick.
Yeah.
All right. Finish? Good. Finish? Okay, good. So tell me, what's bullying? Who wants to tell me what bullying is?
Abusing another person.
Okay, that's one example. Another example?
Pushing them around verbally, physically,
Okay.
overpowering them.
Okay. Perfect. That's a good example.
Pretty much being not a person to someone else.
Okay.
You can take different forms, but you pretty much just being not a person.
Okay.
What was the question?
The question is, what is bullying? What do you think bullying is?
Someone that doesn't like too many people.
Okay. All right. That's a good example. Yeah, that's good. That's perfect. Okay. Where does bullying take place? As we know, it takes place every place. In schools, at home, at work, in the store, okay? Sometimes it might be even in church. And most importantly, the modern version, cyberbullying.
So it says lies, teasing, insults, and all that is done through
Cyberbullying. For example.
Cyber or online.
That's right. That's right. It's online. Where somebody sends you an email, somebody sends you a text, okay? Facebook with derogatory stuff. Incorrect information, pushing you to do something. That's
Phone call.
a what?
Phone call.
A phone call. That's right. Okay? Yeah, exactly. And unfortunately, that's going around a lot. It's aggression, okay? People are taking advantage of others. Do you agree?
Yeah, aggression, verbal.
Mhm. That's right. That's right. And the form that you completed about bullying, that's what that's all about.
That's everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, 20% to 50%, 56% of the young people are being bullied in schools. Have you ever drove by a high school and seen some kids fighting?
Yeah.
Growing up, I remember that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that. Do you?
Mhm.
Yeah.
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 Okay. As school counselors, we need to help. Any questions?
No.
Okay. I'm glad everybody's participating here, and it makes me feel happy to know that people are getting to know what the definition for bullying is. You know what bully means? Yeah? Okay, good.
The girl in church, you know, they're talking about the girl in church, because she has more than anybody in the church.
Uh-huh,
She bullies everybody there, not me, because you know,
yeah,
so,
that's a good example.
yes,
That's right.
she does that.
That's a great example. We need to take control of this. As counselors, we need to take control, okay? Because it's gonna be leading to depression, and we don't want that. We don't want that at all. We need to take control, okay? There's a lot of teenagers out there that are really depressed, okay? They're being bullied. They're being called names, okay? They're being hit on. They have nobody to talk to. Their parents are working. Okay, but you know what? It's not only teenagers, it's adults too. So I want to share this video with you about depression.
Less than 45.
I didn't want to face anyone. I didn't want to talk to anyone. I didn't really want to do anything for myself because I felt like I was such an awful person that there was no real reason for me to do anything for myself.
Depression is more than just a feeling of being down in the dumps or blue for a few days. It is a serious illness that affects many people. Symptoms can vary, but many depressed people lose interest in activities they normally enjoy,
What we spoke about.
have feelings of sadness, guilt, and worthlessness, and
There
have
you go.
trouble concentrating.
Couldn't sit down for a minute really to do anything that took deep concentration. I tried to journal, I tried to do things, but I couldn't do that. I couldn't, to read a book, didn't really do it. I barely went to class a week out of the house. I was in college, I wouldn't go to classes at all. I gained a lot of weight.
A person with depression can feel irritable and restless and have sleep problems.
Sometimes I'd sleep like only 3 hours a night because I couldn't sleep for weeks, but most of the time the opposite happened, where I would sleep 10, 12, 15 hours a day even.
People who are depressed can feel numb and tired all the time.
There you go.
In some cases, it can even lead to thoughts of suicide.
It was like I had big huge weights on my legs and I was trying to swim. It just kept sinking. And I'd get a little bit of an air just enough to survive and then go back down again. It was just constantly just fighting.
Depression is a real and complex illness that is not yet completely understood. We do know that the
These
brains of
teenagers
people
are
with
getting help.
depression are different from those without the illness, but we aren't sure why. Scientists at the National Institute of Mental Health are studying brain images of people who suffer from depression, trying to learn why it affects some people but not others. Treatments for depression do work. One type of effective psychotherapy is called cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT.
CBT?
CBT can help you change ways of thinking and behaving that may be damaging or contribute to depression.
I had one really good therapist, and through her I think I started really thinking about that I did have depression.
Medications called antidepressants can also help. NIMH researchers are getting closer to figuring out exactly how these medications work, who benefits from them the most, and how to make better, more effective ones. For many people, a combination of medication and psychotherapy may be the best choice. Depression can be successfully treated in many people, but
Now, I want to stop there because that is so true. Depression can be taken care of, okay? You can control that. But you need to be aware of it. You need to understand, and you can't fight it, okay? You have to understand exactly what is bothering you, okay? Because if you don't, that will cause more problems. And there's a lot of teenagers out there that do not have anybody to speak to, okay? Their parents are constantly working, they're going out partying, they're not interested, okay? So the kids are bringing up themselves they're bringing up their selves, okay? They need help, okay? I'm gonna show you this video. It's a little bit depressing, actually it's a lot depressing, but I wanna present it to you so you can be aware of what happens, what can happen.
A night of sorrow in Southern California. Friends and family mourning the loss of 13-year-old Rosalie Avila. The teen took her own life after being relentlessly bullied at school.
I woke up and I was screaming, and I had to find my daughter hanging in her room.
Rosalie left behind a letter apologizing, calling herself ugly and a loser. Suicide is now one of the leading causes of death among young people. Nearly 6,000 took their own lives in 2015. Child therapist Cheryl Ziegler says bullying is an epidemic.
What we're seeing is that this has a tremendous effect on the fragile, growing brain of a child.
It's particularly dire in Colorado, where teen suicides have doubled over the last 10 years.
It's a nightmare for any mother.
In Aurora, the parents of Ashanti Davis are heartbroken. They say their daughter took her own life after being bullied. She was just 10 years old.
10 years old.
I just want parents to know that you gotta be in your children's life.
That's right.
Because this is reality now. We gotta bury our baby.
State Representative Daphne Michelson-Janae is one of several Colorado lawmakers exploring legislation to combat the problem.
This is a problem, it is real, it is an issue, and we have a responsibility as a community to stop it.
A plea.
We do have a responsibility, okay? As a human, as one of God's children, we have a responsibility to help others, okay? Aaron Beck, a psychiatrist, a famous psychiatrist, he created cognitive behavior therapy. He also created BDI, and that's abbreviated for Beck's Depression Inventory. It's a scale that you can measure your depression level, and this is very, very important for individuals that are depressed, especially teenagers, okay? We wanna take control from the beginning. We wanna help, okay? So this is what this is all about. I want to teach you, or I want you to teach yourself how to complete the BDI, the Beck's Depression Inventory. So if you could be so kind to open up your folder and pull out the second handout and individually complete it by yourself. Take a couple of minutes. When you finish, you could raise your head. The second handout. It's number 2 on the handout. Yes, that's correct. Okay, and you could add them up, put your score there.
Big fat 9.
Okay, we're gonna discuss that now. That's good, that's good. You're finished, I assume. Finished, okay, good. Finished, okay, good. So, what level are you at?
I got 9, get 1 to 10, it says
1
here,
to 10?
these up and downs are considered normal.
Okay, all right, so you're not depressed, yay.
I got 24.
24, okay, so you're still good too, you're normal too, yay,
I got 6.
yay, that's good.
I got a problem, I guess.
Okay.
So I'm trying, but it's,
It's okay, I love honesty, that's great.
it's on the
Okay,
wrong
perfect.
glasses, so I'm trying, but it's.
That's okay, I'm sure you're in 1 through 10 as well. Okay, good. So what do you think about that? Is it easy to complete that form?
Easy.
Yeah?
Easy.
Very simple?
Yes.
Okay, all right, excellent. That's good to know. Any questions about it?
No.
No? Okay, so we're gonna move right on. We didn't stop at the BD1, we went to the BD2, okay? So we have more questions, and what I want you to do is compare both of them, okay? So if you would go in that folder of yours and pull out the third handout, and you can answer it, and then we'll discuss it when you finish. Take about 5 minutes to complete it. And then what I wanna do is I want, to get a comparison, I wanna get some feedback from you. So once you complete it, I want you to partner up with your partner, and I want you to discuss it with each other, so you could compare the difference
Between the two.
between the two.
BD1 and BD2.
Correct. Do you have a question?
No, I have an itch. Okay, I'm finished.
You finished? Oh, that was quick. What I want you to discuss with your partner when you finish is what changes can you see between the BD1 and BD2?
I think the BD2 is more specific, more
Yeah.
detailed.
I agree with you.
Yeah, more detailed.
It's more specific and it gives a couple of more different choices too,
Mhm.
which is good.
Like it narrows it down.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The same question, just
Yeah.
different options for
Yeah.
answers.
Okay, we have about 10 minutes, so we're good in time. You have about 3 minutes left for this.
Any particular area that affected you more than the others, or? Like, this question wasn't on the first one, right?
The punishment, I think it was.
Punishing feelings?
It was on the first
It
one.
was?
Yeah, it's number 6 on the first.
Oh.
I think the first question, sadness, when you answer that, it kind of sets the tone for the rest of the
Yeah.
questions. If you're
Yeah.
sad, your answers are gonna be a little more
Yeah, yeah.
down and
Tell me if you saw a difference in the forms. Let's
Yeah,
start with you.
I think it was more specific.
Uh-huh, okay.
Gave you a few more choices.
It did, okay. What choices did it give you?
I think, just for like it just kind of narrowed it down, the feeling.
Okay, okay, good.
It's like she was saying, the second one, the first question starts with your level of sadness.
Okay,
And if you're, depending on what mood you're in, you're going to, that's gonna set the tone for the rest, to answer the rest of the questions, you know?
okay.
Because if you're feeling sad when you're taking this test, it's gonna open up, I think it's gonna open up your not perceptibility, but, it's gonna open you up more to answering the rest of the questions.
Okay. And that's what both of you came up with?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
good.
Yeah, we both agreed that the fact that there's, it starts,
Like
you know,
sadness.
I mean, the first one starts also with sadness, but the way, for whatever reason, the way it's reworded, it has a different tone to it.
So the BD two has a different tone?
Yeah, the
Okay.
BD two has a different tone, it's better,
Okay,
the way it's written out.
well, that's great.
Yeah.
So you taught yourself how to complete this form together.
Yeah.
You discussed it together and you came out with results, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. How about group number two?
Yeah, we pretty much came up with like the same type of thing. It's very specific
Uh-huh,
for the BDI too.
okay,
Kind of looking over it again, it's kind of like when you have I guess it's kind of generalized, unconscious thinking of the first one where you're like, oh, this is how I feel. Maybe not specifically that day, but generally. But then like this one is more right at this moment.
okay,
So I guess, yeah.
okay.
That's how-
So can you say that you feel that this is more up to date, more present?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you kind of adapted it with the times, I guess,
Uh-huh.
and just updated it. Yeah, I would agree.
Okay, so as a group, can you actually help somebody complete this form?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, definitely, yep.
Okay,
Well, now that I know what it's all about,
okay,
you know.
okay, that's good. So, now, when you see a depressed person, what are we gonna do?
We're gonna, personally, I would try and talk to that person and
Okay.
try and get them out of that mood.
Okay, okay. Do you think, as everybody please answer, but do you think that a group setting is more sufficient, or a one-on-one interaction like, talking to a priest, talking to a pastor?
I think one-on-one, they're gonna be more honest than in a
Yeah,
group.
me too.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
good, good.
definitely
More personal.
one-on-one.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Because like you won't feel like because if in a group setting you might feel judged. You might be, because I know personally I've fought in situations where I didn't want to talk to
Uh-huh.
other people because
Okay.
different, because I've dealt like with my own situation, there's stuff that
Okay.
everyone else has, but like it's
Uh-huh.
better to talk to someone.
That's right.
Um,
Rather than hold it in,
Yeah.
and it builds up and it builds up and it builds up, and then what happens is something negative, okay? So remember, we have to brush ourselves off,
You
okay?
know, I, just to add to what he was saying,
Uh-huh,
you know, I've been to AA meetings,
okay,
you know, and in AA meetings, it's really difficult to, open up. You know, I mean, once you open up, you can't stop, but it's really difficult to open up
uh-huh,
because you're afraid of what you wanna share with these strangers,
okay,
you know? But if it would have been one-on-one, talking about my alcohol problem, it would have made it a whole lot easier, the dialogue, and maybe would have encouraged me to
Okay.
be more upfront and more honest and open.
all Okay,
You know.
good.
So the one-on-one is a lot better.
That's much better?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you think that BDI could help?
Definitely, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Why do you think it could help?
Well, you know, when you get down to the questions and you start answering those questions, you know, it sort of opens you up,
Okay.
like I was saying.
Okay.
You know, it's just, what's going on it's like, what's going on with your life? It's like the questionnaire is asking you as if it was a person asking you.
Very good, very
You know,
good, okay. Very good analogy.
I think that, well, if you give this to someone and you're working with it, and they say they're sad, then it opens up conversation. Well, why do you feel sad?
Okay,
You know, what's bothering you?
okay, good, good.
No, yeah, and I mean, it's just generic enough to like, everyone can start answering, and then it can broaden to specific ideas and similarities.
Okay, okay. Any
What was it?
comments?
What was the question?
You're too funny.
I'm busy trying this.
It's okay, it's okay, I
It's
understand.
definitely a conversation
Yeah.
starter.
That's
Yeah,
good.
definitely, yeah.
That's good. I feel like I'm in Miss Nathan's class.
Okay, so we discussed a lot today, okay? And I'm glad you know how to complete the BDI. And I understand that you know the difference, that you taught yourself the difference between the BDI 1 and the BDI 2. And when you see somebody depressed, you are definitely gonna help them, correct?
Yes.
Right.
I did my job, all right, and I wanna thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
Okay.